Hello student, my name is Gagandeep and I am here to teach you social studies. And our first chapter is history. The theme 1, the story of the past. History is related to past events. What is history? The first question is, what is history? History is the record of past events in a sequential order, like in a series. History is a record of past event, the event that occur in past in a sequential order, in a chronological order. It is the study of past. Like I said earlier, that history is the study of past events. It gives us a detailed account of the people who lived before us, and it gives the detail about the peoples who lived before us, like our grandfathers and great grandfathers and their great grandfathers. They all are part of our history. It deals with the social, religious, economical, political and cultural aspect of the earlier civilization. The history deals with the social, like society, religious, like our religion, economical, related to money, political, related to politics, and culture, related to our culture, aspects of our early civilization. It is a written account, like you can say that history is in written form, like it is written in our books, in our Vedas, in our holy books, etc. etc. It is a written account which related to the important events. Important events like wars. Wars, nowadays there is no wars, but in past there in history there are many wars. So all wars is a part of history. Revolutions, inventions, discoveries, like scientists invent something, discover something, that all comes in the part of history, and explain their why and how. History reveals the growth and progress of human. It also explains that how and why. History reveals and the growth and progress of humans, how human get progressed with the help of history. The next topic is prehistory and history. First thing, prehistory, as the name suggests, like we saw the name prehistory, it means the period of time before written records. The line says it clear that it means the period of time before written records. It is a time when people don't know how to write. The period referred to the time when humans had not developed the art of writing. Like I said earlier, they don't know how to write. That period is called prehistory period. The study of tools, pottery, bones, weapons, caves and their painting, etc. tell us about the life of the people at that time. The all things like pottery, tools, bones, weapons, caves and paintings, that tells about the people's life at that time, how they live, how they manage to live, how they cook, how they hunt. Next thing is history. We read prehistory, now we read history. And prehistory is the thing where written record is not mentioned, but in history written records are mentioned. It refers to the period of written record, where written record is written records are barks of the trees, like the layer of trees, and people used to write on that, pillars, copper plates and papers. It also study the ancient manuscript written on dried palm leaves. They also used to write on dry palm leaves, big leaves of palm, and they used to write on them. Need to study history. History relates the present with the past. Like history is act as a bridge between our present and our past. Unless we understand our past, we cannot develop a good understanding of the present. If we don't know about our past, we don't know about our good present. For example, when we see the Wright brothers who invent the aeroplane. When we see the Wright brothers' first aeroplane, we can trace the history of the modern airplane. We saw Wright brothers invent the aeroplane, and we can trace the history of the modern aeroplane. History teaches us to act better in the present by learning from the past happening. History teaches us the act better in present. Like we see in past, there is some lackings, but in present we used to explore and get better result. For example, history bears the fact that war always causes huge loss of life. We get an example, very good example from the history, that war only cause heavy loss of life, loss of wealth, loss of money, loss of everything, and property also. So we should avoid all type of wars. Now student, turn your page number 8. History is the source of knowledge about our culture. History tells us about our culture. It makes us aware of the words of wisdom and teachings of the Bhagavad Gita, the holy book of Hindus, the Bible, the holy book of Christians, the Quran, the holy book of Muslims, and the Guru Granth Sahib, the holy book of Sikhs, etc. Make us learn invaluable lessons and tells about valuable lessons of our past history. History tells us why we celebrate important historical events. History also tells us about why we celebrate our historical event like Independence Day, like the Gandhi Jayanti, etc. The festivals like Diwali, Christmas, Eid, and Gurpurab. It tells us about the significance of our celebration, how we celebrate and why we celebrate our festivals. Next topic is compartmentalization and division of history. Why we have to divide history in many parts? Like in this topic, it is given that we have divided the history in 3 periods. First, the ancient period, second, the medieval period, and third is the modern period. Time and history both are continuous. Like we all know, time and history never stops, they continues. History now relates to a long period of time. History is of very long period. For the sake of better understanding and convenience, history has been divided into following 3 periods. The first period is ancient period. It refers to the very old period. Very few sources are available about this period. It covers the period up to 8th century AD. And the second period is medieval period. It refers to the middle period. There are enough sources available for this period. We have many records of this period. It covers the period from the 9th century to the 17th century. And third period is modern period, in which we are living. It refers to the more recent period. Many sources are available for this period. It covers the period from 18th century till now. Now the question is, who is a historian? Who is known as the historian? A person who who studies and write about the past is considered as authority on it is known as a historian. The person who studies and write about the past and consider as authority on it, have the authority on his writing and studies, is known as an historian. Historians do researches. They have to do researches on the past events. Historians are expert in history. Thank you, students. Further we discuss in other class. Thank you.